heard from God about who will win or who will, maybe because there are several things occupying my mind. And one of it is when I see the crowd gathering, and if you look at the crowd, majority of them are young. When I see the hundreds of thousands of youth, you have to be jobless to be attending all these rallies. What's going to happen when the campaigns are over and there's nobody to rent anymore?
Charge stations. We are yet to generate electricity to even roast barley.
To even roast barley. Let's go to Lagos, where the Arewas, the northern people living in Lagos and southwest Nigeria, decided to endorse Kolu today. Quite a few clips, but short ones, okay? Here is one. Onikon Stadium in Lagos. So those are the people from northern Nigeria living in Yoruba land, endorsing Kolu. So something that the Lagos Abobaku, so Shogbu Alimajiris, the tribal card beaters, okay, the ethnic bigots, or those street urchins, mostly, who play those that kind of dirty stuff. This is what they want. I mean, give to Kesari what is, give to Caesar what is of Caesar. Give to Tifnumbu what is of Tifnumbu. Let him feel like a king. Don't tell him that he's sick, he's wobbly, he's got dementia and the rest of. Don't say that. Be thankful that they hear you breathe in Yoruba land. If not for the creator Tifnumbu, are you sure you will still be alive? I'm talking about the vuvuzelas, the praise singers, the ass lickers, the crumb chasers, the crumb eaters, the all risers. This is what they love. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Here is another one. Nagode. After the audio, it doesn't really have much to say to them. Just dance and then shake and all of that and pay them, let them go their way, okay? The spectacle is done. But when he opens his mouth, now content he go create. You probably won't understand this.
The chairman of the Arewa community in Lagos. God bless you. May Allah grant him all the blessings and grant all of you a blessing.
In Jesus' name. That's the only thing they didn't add. Or in Allah's name. Because everywhere he goes now, it's like somebody who is blessing people. I mean, they're going to give you money. So if Tifnumbu mounts a podium and says, You will have inheritance for your children. All your children will get education. You will have food. We make sure that you are not hungry. Almighty God will give you peace of mind. Almighty God will give you hope. Almighty, and all of those things that the drama they display out there, they are coming from the background of the people they have blessed. I'm not sure easy. Can cost them $1 billion. $1 billion naira. Sure you get. And that's very expensive. But they got the result. They got what they wanted and all that. They went to Edo. People got, it is business transaction, like Pastor Adeboye said, okay? Don't forget that in 2015, it was actually with them. And Pastor Ruga, who happened to be the current vice president of Nigeria. Pastor Ruga, that's a fake Pastor Ruga, Ikene Shatabandu, special advisor to Bukuwari on burial arrangements and condolences visits, as well as trader money or market money. Professor Ruga is from Redeem. And if you look at many of people around him, you will see many of them product of Redeem. So they thought Pastor Ruga was going to become the candidate of APC. You know what they did? Last year, Pastor Adeboye said, everybody, every branch of a Redeemed Church all over Nigeria, they must open political directorates. Everybody must go and join the political directorate of Redeemed Church. After the primary, after the voting, as Pastor Ruga enter monastery, because that's what happened. Immediately after the primaries, how much of Ruga you they see again? He enter monastery straight. As Old Rock Monastery disappeared there, just to take selfie for people on social media and Instagram. Sure you get. So immediately Pastor Ruga enter monastery. All the political directorate that they said they should open inside Redeem, they disappeared. So there are people who believe that a Redeemed Church is a branch of a APC, but they can easily just move away from it and say, no, we are not. No take and personal. We are talking about this. We say now people with this spirit, they know. People like us are geos, hierarchy by hierarchy, geos by geos. When it comes to this theater of absurdity called Nigeria, sure you get now different level. You know if you understand. So now that they've discharged, the directorate has also been disbanded. Well, maybe not functional, right? Now Baba say he might today occupy with so many things. They hear from God again, say about who is going to be president or who is not going to be president. But fine, it's about cash and carry. So Tinubu can enter your stage and say, let me bless you. You know what he's talking about? Thousands of them who are going to be there are going to at least have something to eat that night. 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira. But you go still find something chop. After the whole stress, tomorrow when you wake up, you can begin to cause APC again. So Tinubu will come into town and bring in money for them. That's what's going on. And that's why everywhere Tinubu goes to, he always want to pray. Say, God to bless your children. Amen. You will think you are in a crusade, not a political campaign. Listen to this. I pay, you gather. You gather, I pay. Another person come, he pay, you gather. About a job on the season, everybody do their own cash out. If Tinubu and the rest of them are just waiting for the payday too. Mokuna just make the theater complete. Here is another one.
Inshallah, we are going to send that message across to our brothers and sisters for the whole 19 northern states. I can tell you, sir, categorically, apart from the 19 governors, 19 House of Reps, 19 state senators, and 19 state House Assembly, the people living in Lagos, they are the people who are they are the people who are holding the Arewa by God's grace. We are the people who have said for Arewa for what to do, inshallah, after our governor. By God's grace, we are going to talk to them and tell them who you are, because we know who you are. Number one, if somebody look back at the history of Lagos from 1999 to today, sir, honestly speaking, His Excellency has tried his best to see Lagos become a mega city in Africa. If you look back, 1999 back, if you are coming to Lagos, all your family will start crying. We don't know that you are going to come back or you are coming back. But now, the whole 36 states of Nigeria, everybody is happy to come to Lagos because of the master plan you drop on Lagos State, which everybody is going to benefit from. I can tell you, if you have 6 Ashwaju in the 6 for geopolitical zone of Nigeria, some of us cannot be in Lagos. I pray, by God's grace, for your coming as president, we want to have like 4 or 5 Ashwaju in the northern Nigeria. Then that one we can reduce the poverty kidnapping, terrorism, and co. Sir, I can tell you categorically, you are a leader. You are a leader.
I mean, personally, I kind of respect APC, Egbekegbese type of criminality and confidence. Now, sometimes, right? You can admire people's insensitivity, creating and living in their own world, beating their chest in their failure, and awarding themselves an award of excellence in the ruins that is staring them on the faces as well. Sometimes you have to feel like it's cringy. Do you get that? It's cringy. Like, oh, it's my ego is that's cringy. Like I can never admire them. No, I don't understand. But I mean, in my lifetime, I haven't read much. But in my lifetime, I am witnessing where shameless people are actually real and they are unshameful. No shame at all. I'll tell you why I'm saying this though. In 2015, I don't know if some of you, if your Stockholm syndrome, if we have destroyed your Stockholm syndrome, you will remember what I'm about to say. But if your own Stockholm syndrome don't enter, no repair, demorage, maybe say bakulowa, kushe you get, I will still manage, and remind you. In 2015, if you all remember, it was Fashola of Lagos was their star boy. And they were telling all of you, the moment, do you want your state to be like Lagos? Do you want the progress that Lagos has been experiencing? You said yes. Would you like this? Even Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola, at a point he came out and he said, if you want power, the reason why Nigeria has no power is because of the Bantueyo, the people you put in charge of government in Nigeria. If you want power, you should give APC a chance. This is the 7th year. Okay? Even the Lagos, they use as example for you back then. That APC, Egbekegbe will turn to the special status. They will give Lagos State special status. One of the reasons why some of the zombies, Lagos Abobakus, were speaking in tongues for Bokwari, the same criminal that cancelled their development that Jan Conde was putting in place in the early 80s. This is why the Lagos Abobakus, the ass lickers, were going everywhere and they were ready to run. They were actually running mad. They were running mad. They were going to give Lagos State a special status. 2022, 23 years after democracy, 23 years of Tinubu's leadership in Lagos, 23 years of Tinubu selecting those who are going to be in charge of Lagos, 7 years of Tinubu's partnership and relationship with Bokwari, 7 years of APC, Egbekegbe under the Bokwari's leadership. Lagos State still no get water, drinking water. So if they are saying mega city is a mega shitty. Una love to deceive on ourselves. But it's all right. It's okay. If it makes you sleep well at night in your mosquito-infested communities, unsafe, and then, all those horrible places that you stay, that, well, you are used to them, by the way. If it makes you feel better at night, mega shitty. No drinking water. For 23 years, Tinubu no fit get medical checkup anywhere in hospital in Lagos because there is none that is actually fitting to take care of the man who love you so much and has been giving you successors that were going to make Nigeria, look like Lagos. 7 years after that, back to the trenches. They are promising you the same thing. The reason why everybody is coming to Lagos is because Tinubu have done this. Finally, APC Egbekegbe told you. They said they were going to dredge River Niger. They were going to give them their own ports. They are going to dredge on a river. They are going to give them international ports. They are going to dredge Ogun River. They are going to give us a seaport. They are going to give them 20 million jobs in Eastern Nigeria. And blah, 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 blah. Today, they are now telling you about Atlantic Ocean. That Tinubu is claiming ownership of. Well, he brought the idea. I know this madness. I'm just saying. 2022, they are still using Lagos. The shitty Lagos. The shittiest Lagos. See, no bite me, oh. I know say they be somehow, but they say again and again and again and again, Lagos State is the worst place, the worst city in the whole world to raise a child. Guess what? There is a place they call in Syria, you know. There is a place in Syria, Damascus. A place in Syria is called Damascus. Damascus is like a city too. They say you feel go raise your child in Damascus. And you still, no, it's dangerous too. It's dangerous. But it's better than Lagos. Oh yeah, now why you know go take your child to Damascus? No. My own kids are fine, okay? My kids are not in Lagos. My kids are, you know what I mean? They are fine. I'm so worried about some of your own kids. Some of you are like Nero, no, like Lokoloi, Elebi, Oniya, Onishei, You are watching the whole thing desecrated, everything depreciating. You are watching your children wasting away. Now today, some weirdos can come around and say, let us use Lagos as a template so that everywhere in Nigeria can be like Lagos. Because some of you have no idea what they are actually saying in a way. So yeah, they are playing their Muslim ticket. Horribly, it is getting worse. I need a break. Sure, say something.
The one who died. And that means if we had tried to recover from the ones alive, probably would have recovered even more money from them fighting corruption. There's nobody fighting corruption around here. People are just using corruption to fight, for themselves.
Now, I want to add, what role do you think the international communities are playing as far as illicit funds transferred abroad is concerned? Do you think they are doing enough to support them?
Until you start punishing the banks that are serving as conduits for transferring money abroad, until you start naming them, shaming them, fining them, jailing their corrupt officials, as they do in the Western world. If you steal $50,000 in the US, okay, let me give you an example. For Halliburton case of 180 million bribery that took place in Nigeria, the US made over $6 billion from fines imposed on the characters that were involved. They jailed people, and Nigeria was only able to make $25 million because they declared Dick Cheney wanted, the former vice president of the US. At the moment the money came, the lawyers hired by the federal government took the money away. Today you cannot explain what happened to the money that they got from Halliburton by just declaring Dick Cheney wanted. So that's what we are talking about. There are people here who don't even understand how the world is working, and who don't understand that you can actually use this crime that has been committed, if you do it very well, to fight against everybody that is involved, including international actors who have been involved, because there's a trail when money moves. The volume of money that's moved out of Nigeria, there's a paper trail for it. And we need also forensic investigators at home. But the point I'm making is that you have to close the tap. Until you close the tap, you probably will be wasting your resources running after monies that had been stolen already. And another thing is the hypocrisy about how we recover money. Abacha is dead. We are after every penny he stole. Babangida is still around. You go and work, you go and visit him whenever you want to run for office. Oba Obasanjo is still around. All the thieves who are still alive, you are not doing anything about them. But you are going after the one who died. And that means if we had tried to...
Sure. Oh, I miss Sure. Some people said that, but Mayegun, why are you not showing us about Shore's campaign? I said, listen, I would have, in fact, I would love to. I've said that several times. But I mean, on my side, it's just going to sound like, hypocrisy. Because I would never present Shore the same way I'm going to present some of these guys, including Obi. Because I can tell you, is originality. Very, very original. And when I say he's original, as I believe so much in him, I don't believe in him being president of Nigeria. I don't. Personally, I've given my support. Okay, I've given my personal, reach out, show. Well, all the best in your journey. This is what I could give to support you. I've done that personally, privately. But if I should bring Shure on and then, bring all his stuff and all that here, it will make it look like maybe I actually have interest in their charade election. So it's somebody I feel more or less like, no, I'm just going to stay away, except when I have something like a sound bite from him, I would love to share with you. I don't believe in Nigeria election or the system at all. Okay? And if I see people who are trying to make people believe that they could do something about that same system, using that same resources, I am actually not the type that will pretend that maybe they are right. It's not about being right or wrong. It is about just, something I would say personal ethic. I don't believe Nigeria could be rescued. I don't believe any iota of it, even if you have good intention or bad. I don't care. I have seen it enough. And I've seen many failures of those who actually, in fact, I've seen a lot of people who had good intentions and they got the chance and they turned to the monster that the system exactly always breed. And I figured out that it's the system mostly, not just the people, but it's but the people make the system. I say, yes, this particular one is not made by the actors that you are seeing acting on it. A majority are just latching on it, gaining from it, and building their own whatever empire from it. Do you understand that? They didn't build it. If my generation want to decide what works for them, then that my generation should be allowed. Like the generation who put this in place. This one that is not working. This one that everybody is trying to fix. I am genuine. I mean well for no, I don't care. I don't care. You come to that reality too at some point. It's a pure waste of time. And if I have a time to waste, I will waste that time telling everybody that we could get a better country if all of us says we are done. Do you understand the both, right? You want to save Nigeria. To me, you're wasting your time. Go on, do it. I mean, just go ahead. When you finish wasting your time, you're going to come back to that reality and it may be too late. As for myself, I would rather waste my own time spending and my resources and all that, telling everybody that care or who cares to listen and say, don't try. Don't waste your time. Don't, if you have a time to waste at all, as it is, use that time on quality things. Something that can be taught our own children and all that. So that's why I decided not to invite Shore here to discuss about his politics. That's why I didn't really talk more, or I don't talk more about his politics. Because if I do, seriously, it's going to sound more like I'm promoting. I mean, I actually want him. And I don't believe in that. Since I don't, Shore is one one germ that when there is no longer election, our conversation will likely tally. You get what I mean? So again, give them again.
The one who died. And that means if we had tried to recover from the ones alive, probably would have recovered even more money from them that we recover from the guy who died some almost 20 years ago.
On the final note, sir, I just want to ask, now you're a presidential candidate.
Yes.
What will you do differently when you get to power, as far as corruption is concerned?
I'm surrounded by all these APC people here. If I reveal my strategies, they will steal it. But honestly, the most important thing is to prevent people from stealing. And we know how to do it. And a lot of ways to do it includes, digitalizing how we carry out transactions. There's no point anymore paying salaries through, buckets of water. There's no point anymore, not using. And there's no reason why we are not using blockchain technology, for example, to ensure that our process of contracting is transparent. There's e-contracting these days that can be done. There's a lot of ways, even to cut down on the number of ghost workers in the country, which I heard is about 25% of our workforce. You can just put fingerprint scanners at the door of every ministry. You can put a retina scanner in the front of everybody's office so that everybody who is entering and getting out of these offices are people who are alive, recognizable. At the end of the month, you use that data to pay their salaries. That way you don't lose any money unnecessarily. But when you expose your process and system to thieves and you make it possible for them to manipulate it, you still have universities in this country. You want to go and rent a hall from them. They are writing the receipt with long hands on the paper. Nobody's doing that anywhere in the world. So there's a lot of things that we can just get rid of in terms of how transactions are carried out. At the moment we do that, we reduce the number of people who have nothing to do with this kind of transactions, and we close the loopholes that made it possible for people to steal. I propose, for example, that there should be nothing like security votes for governors, because those kind of money could go into the payment of salaries of workers. If there are security challenges in a state, let the governors pay directly into, an account for which that security issue is managed. If it's to the police, let's know the amount of money. Let it be transparent. Let there be a transaction that is digital, not that you just take out.
Well, sure. Another thing is that on this platform, I remember our own vintage show that said that PVC is poverty validation card, something needed to be done before anybody could go into an election. Now he's about to go and validate that process with them. So to me, it's going to be like, now if the whole thing comes down to as usual, are we all going to come back and then start talking about rigging? And then we can put together our anger and rage again and go back to where we were 3 years ago or 5 years ago or something like that. So that kind of, repeats and rinse and all that, they are no longer my thing. Okay. And that is why I wish him well. I do really wish him well. And you can always respect his energy in a way. So the politics is turning into tribal this, religious that. And as we speak, as much as people are trying to underplay it, there are some imminent danger or threats, whether it's going to lead to anything or not, it's a different ball game. You see this obedient, that, and also the desperate system, this desperate establishment themselves that are now trying to recognize Obi as a threat, means that your 2023 stake, 2023 charade stake is higher now. But on ground, it seems that the reason for why they are worried is not far-fetched. In Yoruba land, young people in Yoruba land, from record, we are talking about the record number of young people in Yoruba. I'm not just saying the Yorubas now. I'm talking about young people in Yoruba land, a territory that is naturally considered to be Tinubu's territory. He has no territory in Yoruba land, though. He has Fufuselas everywhere, okay? And they are lousy, but they are very minute. Now, it seems that all of that is coming to a threat. I'm not saying it's not going to, it's not going to rig or win Southwest. I am actually talking about what has made Tinubu to be pushed now to acknowledge the imminent threat that this obedient of a thing is actually posing, more than what they are admitting. So Osun State, where Tinubu comes from, Iragbiji. So Osun State, the obedient gathered just yesterday. And some clips came out. Some of their clips showed up as usual. I'm going to take you to them. Then people started asking, like, what? Is that Osun? How is that even possible? Blah, 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 blah. I say, well, whatever it is, all of us, when they read the forecast, they read the signal. We put 1 here, we put 3 here. And then we read at it at some point. We say, hey, remove this one, put 2. This 3 here, put 2. Hey, remove that 2 again, put 0. You know that? All of us who are reading the chat and the rest of them, we can tell you, obedient are indeed an imminent threat to the Emilocons. And they will deploy all means to end that. How could this happen in Osun? One of the questions we were asking.
The Leadership Campaign Organization, right here. Our number. You did a great job.
Let's go into the town. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. They do too much. We call them the vuvuzelas, political vuvuzelas. That one is not hyping. It's just a But let's go to the center. Let's hear what they had to say, including what the center looked like, what the venue looked like. Osun State. Take a look.
President of Nigeria. And therefore, those who are in their 70s, those who are in their 80s, who are eating their own, they want to eat their children's own. They want to eat their children's own. We should retire them. We should retire them. Are we ready to retire them? Are we ready to retire them? We can only retire them with our PVCs. So for those of you that have not collected your PVCs, from tomorrow go and collect it. It will be late by 22nd. If you don't collect your PVC, if you don't collect your PVC, One minute.
So that was Osun. So I was on the phone with a friend yesterday, and then we were having this normal chat the way I do with almost everybody I speak with in Nigeria. I just make sure that I ask their, sort of feel their pulses and say, what's going on? What do you think? And they are always very honest with me. In their own small circle, in their big circle, they could give me pictures of what's going on. And they said, yeah, that it seems that that thing is going like a wildfire right now. And therefore, you're going to see more and more reactions from the major, the major big bodies, the major crooked parties and all that, Tinubu and Atiku. And I said, okay, maybe just like I've been hoping and wishing, if more of you actually get up and say, yeah, we want to fight the PVC, our PVC will judge this and that. Yeah, that's self-awareness, right? Then, when Nigeria can't happen, which is you confidently believe that you can stop that, how courageous. Very courageous. So I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to discourage you, okay? But in a situation whereby Nigeria then happened to all of you, happened to your this or that, I am more interested in how you're going to react. Are you going to just crawl into your own cocoon and disappear? Or you are going to be able to take it up against the system and the revolution indeed. Because a lot of you have told me that Obi is your last shot, Abi? And the system is saying, you are just joking. We have seen your type before. Your size will day. February will judge. Lesson will be learned. All those things they are saying, that says you can only try and all that stuff. Anyway, let's see what your self-awareness will do in the next 6 weeks when we hope your charade will take place. So when somebody said that to me, I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Let's see how far you're going to do it. Somebody said they will do nothing, but am I going to forget it? And noise, not shout. They will read them, they will write the result, do all of that. Everybody will scream, this one will shout. At the end of the day, nothing. I said, that's what I thought. Because that's how it's always been. That's how it has always been. But the obedient are saying never, it will never be like that. Obi is going to get 22 million. He's going to get 30 million and all the millions and all of that. I am saying, if the establishment now muzzle you out, I am confident that it is not just going to go away. Yeah, it's not going to go away. I've said it before, that they are not worried about the elections. They are more concerned about the aftermath of the election. It seems that if this tempo is continued, if this momentum is continued among yourselves, you will be in the top spirit to revolute a revolution that will just spark all of you all together. That moment is when you realize that right, election cannot fix this, but election that they have chosen can actually be the catalyst, the springboard into that full-blown revolution. Something must trigger it, Abi. It must be spontaneous. And since all of you are walking about the obedient, you are walking about with bottled anger, bottled rage, bottled frustration, bottled disappointment. You are not allowed to express yourselves the way you would love to. They said if you are angry, go and get your voter's card, go and be this or that. Now, you have made Obi your symbol of that struggle, Abi. If Nigeria should happen to you, would you disappear? Or you will be ready to shout, to sing, Zoli, 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 Solidarity. Abi, whatever it is then, the diary will always be here to keep every event. That's me. Yeah, that's me. And that is why I think this guy is staying away. I better go. I'm not interested. So I don't get interested, even though I be senator. I be minister. I'm not interested though. Sure you get anything. Let Nigerians look at their manifestos and vote according to what is right for the country. I don't think I will go around campaigning for candidate A or B or C. It is not my stock in trade. I don't jump from party to party. Besides, I have some conscience and I am going to protect my conscience. They ask him, what is your opinion about your presidential candidate, Ashiwaju? Baba started reading a poem. He said, let Nigerians look at that. Shebi, you be APC. This is APC Minister of Labor. A minister under Bokwario, giving excuses why he's not going to come out and follow Tinubu, their party candidate. So the whole thing is shaping up, okay? And moreover, when you see things like this, they remind you of where you are coming from. They remind you, those at the time who made you believe that indeed following APC, Egbekegbe, could have not come at the better time than then. At the time, you had a price increase of a fuel of 140 naira because subsidy was removed. The woman in a lemon dress, she is a UK returning grandmother, Loretta Onoche. She was presenting herself as a progressive and she still does anyway. Now she is, excuse me, she has been appointed as the director of the NDDC or something like that. NDDC in Abuja after laundering the image, the fraud, the lies. Today, all of them don't even get strength to even write. You don't even get money to buy placard today and write it on there and say, why are you buying or paying what do you call it, 500 naira per liter of petrol in Nigeria today? Why? You don't even get money to write down. So all this will shape up and decide what your future hold in the next couple of weeks. Nigeria, one more time, or stay away and let everything implode and get ready enough to join the gang of everyone who want to break away from this shackle. It has divided itself before now, before politics entered it. And indeed, the politics entered it and all these greedy and selfish scums, opportunists are trying to rewrite the history. These are the indigenous people that make up of Nigeria. So we can always tell our children and fight towards that. And indeed, people could, raise, or should I say, boast of over 60 million and 70 million citizens all over the world are not supposed to be so kind of afraid of being on their own. That's one thing there, okay? So I'm going to drop mine here. I'm going to wish you all the best as you, forge on in the Nigeria, or should I say in the emerging Nigeria, and as they're going to bamboozle you further into revalidating this madness. Just have it at the back of your mind, right? That the consequences of yours in this instance are not limited to you alone. Even those who have not shared or who are not sharing in your state of madness in Nigeria, we ended up having to share in the consequences of your madness. So sometimes, I mean, if we manage to point this out all the time before some of these decisions are made and they solidify, we might be saving the number of people from further validating something that actually is there to kill all of us, not just you. Whatever has been the reward that's been given to you. Look around you. The victims of today are survivors of yesterday. Those of you who survived today, you are the awaiting victims of tomorrow. Tomorrow will turn to today, you know that. And that means every day, all of us, home and abroad, we are just the waiting victim of a system that doesn't give a damn about us. Edo happened. And look around you. Why is the quietness? Why is the silence? And if that should be you or your family members, would you be quiet? Will you keep quiet? So that's why I'm asking that tell everybody, I'll do my part, do your part, tell the truth, teach it, live it. So that, when I say live the truth, it simply means that you have to ignore and abandon your prejudices, the lies you tell yourselves, cherry picking what is right and what is wrong, based on the people you probably feel like, oh, this one are my people, they can't do that. Cherry picking, in a way, will give us the same lawless place we have right now. But yeah, I'm going to draw my curtains there. So I'm thinking of opening the line, taking few calls, and then calling it a night. So if you're up for that, now let me call everybody. Tell them that Mayugu is calling them. The line is now opened. Okay? I want to help you. Tag Lagos Abobakus as we begin to take the phone calls. I'll be back.
Shay, help us, help us. There is God. There is God, God. God should descend, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The president now is calling you, come, I want to help you. You don't want to appear. Will you agree? No. Now the first lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. The bloods we are sharing, there is God, oh. 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 It's okay.
Hello there.
Hello, my Baba.
How you doing, Ahmed?
I'm doing okay, my How far now?
I am very well, Baba. Thank you. It's just the same. Omo kidnap on your ledo, omo, make news. So you don't even make anything like really.
You know, say they've been kidnapped one lieutenant colonel like that for around Zamfara or so in the Go Kanu.
Yeah.
But Sarah reporter post them. Somebody don't go comment say always posting fake news.
Exactly. I said something about that. People trying to say, well, it's not the news. Is that the news? Show us something else. Tell us about the second Niger bridge. They kidnap or no number of people. You said people should talk about second Niger bridge. Like, who do you this thing? Baba?
Can you imagine?
People.
Can you imagine? People are not being. They are trying to inform you guys, but with all what is happening, you will still see some people with their full chest who come out and tell you, stop spreading fake news. What is fake? Wait, is it the kidnapping is fake news? I've been at the killing now be fake news. I've been at the prayer where they pray where they no kidnapping now be fake. Which one? You see the lie where they lie to themselves. You see they can't lie, but where they lie to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when I want better Nigeria, you think you can get you? You think they wise?
You say you wise?
Eh?
You think they wise? Okay.
You see, God, not even.
But see, I remember some of these guys, some of these dumbos, who actually have no idea what they are doing. They are very young. Some of them are very young, in their 20s.
That is my problem.
Very young.
That is my problem.
Right? They were defending APC Egbekegbe on social media. Just last week, one of them was all over the social media, how Igbos are this or that, how Biafrans are going to be this or that, how the Buhari is going to, that stuff. They are normal nonsense, Abi. Now, before the news now broke that some people are kidnapped, and this guy was on social media crying and said that President Buhari, I need you to listen to my voice. My family members, four members of his family were kidnapped along that Abuja Kaduna train. The guy called look for sympathy, the guy called the talk saying, this country, this insecurity, Baba, after the this thing or that, it no reach 2 days. It no reach 2 days, the guy don't go back to his bigotry.
I sabi the guy now. What's popping? Now he named that for Twitter. What's popping?
He always talking about that's what's popping. Another one again. What's popping is say an old friend. His brother was taken. Another guy, one young guy, four members of his family, 4 were part of those Kaduna this thing. He didn't know at first. Go on.
It be like that one from Kanu.
I think like so. That one from Kanu. Something like that, yeah. The guy just came out at the point and said, President Buhari, I'm sending you this personal message. Who be this weary? You are sending personal message to Buhari.
You see that first video where you play about the Muslim ticket bar. If you get waiting the guy talk, we are not being interpret give people that yesterday. The guy said something. He said, "Mu ba wai muna maganan makarantu ko maganan ayyuka da za su yi bane. Mu burin mu ga cewar Muslim ticket din nan mu ga cewar musulunci ta samu daukaka." Do you know what he was saying? He was saying, "We don't care about any work they will provide or building schools or whatever, anything that the government will do. They are not after that. What they are after is how they want to protect Islam." Now, Bayegun,
you know what you're going to do for me, Ahmed? Thank God we are not doing the fundraiser.
I want to go into Hausa Mopedi, so I want you to play that video a little bit. All right. I want to say something.
Oh yeah. Let's take a moment and do
before
that.
You play, one second before you play.
Yeah.
Duk wanda yake nan Bahaushe kana kallon wannan program din. Ina son ka kalli wannan video da Mayegun yake so ya play. Mayegun play this video. Let them listen to it. Let me say something. Beautiful.
Saboda haka wannan karan
tarihi ne zai maimaita kansa wajen cin zaɓe idan Allah ya yarda. Kuma yanzu dimokuraɗiyya ake yi babu maganar soke zaɓe.
Dr. Abdulmutallib Muhammad Awwal shine coordinator na kungiyar malaman addinin musulunci shiya arewa maso yamma ya bayyana a makasudin shirya taron.
Wanda manufar mu shine mu musulmai ne kuma mu masu wa'azi ne, shi zaka tara malamai na kungiyoyi daban-daban da kuma malaman tsangaya da malaman zaure da malaman da suke hawa munbari domin wayar da kan mutane dangane ga wannan aiki da muka sa gaba na tabbatar da zaben musulmi da musulmi abinda ake ce muslim ticket. Kungiyoyin da muka gayyata na addini sun kai kusan kungiya 75. musamman kungiyar izala ta Kaduna da izala ta Jos da kuma Salafiya da Kadiriya da kuma Tijjaniya da JTI da Imwan da Form 1 da Sautin Da'awa abinnan Muslimin Da'awa Women in Da'awa da kungiyoyi da yawa na mata da na maza gaba ɗaya kowane da kuma kungiyoyin yan uwanmu Yarabawa da suke da zaune a nan da kungiyoyin musulmai yan uwanmu Ibo da kungiyar limamai ma ta jihar Kano duka kowace kungiya mun taba ta saboda zama akwai kyakkyawan wakilci don a isar da wannan sako din. Babban abin da muka nuna malamai cewa shine ba wai magana bane mu zo mu maku titi ko kuma mu maku wani alƙawarin cewa za a ba ku mukamai ko ba shi bane. Abin da ake magana shine waye zai tabbatar da girman musulunci kuma ya ɗaukaka darajar addinin mu, ya mutunta addinin mu wannan dan takarar da aka zama tare da shi. Yayin da ya wulakanta addinin mu zamu ce mutane ba ma tare da shi. Amma babban abin da muke nuna mutane cewa shine musulmi a ko ina yake ya fi kafiri. Kuma in ka haɗa musulmai guda biyu za su baka nasarar da musulmi ɗaya ba zai baka ba. Shi yasa muke ta wayar da kan mutane dangane ga fahimtar wannan manufar tamu cewa lalle musulmai da muslim ticket wani abu ne babba da yake jihadi a wajen malamai.
Shugaban kungiyar Izala reshen jihar Kano Sheikh Abdullah Saleh Pakistan cewa yayi.
To an tattauna dai na farko akan tarihin yadda shi wannan dan takara ya daɗe yana da wannan yunwa ta maganar muslim ticket. An ga yadda ya haɗa takarar ribado da musulmi rabe daga can bangaren su, an ga yadda ya ɗaurewa takarar abiola da shi da baba gana kingibe, an ga kuma yadda ya yi nacin ya zama ɗan takarar.
Ahmed.
Maigun, I am here.
Loud and clear. Did you hear all of that?
Jama'a.
Go on.
Jama'a. Kuji ƙarya. Kuna ji? Yanzu an fito muku da maganar Muslim ticket. Muslim ticket. Ana so a rudar da ku da maganar Muslim ticket. Akan me? Akan wannan Nigerian da kun rantse Najeriya ƙasar ku ta gado. Ƙasar ku ta gado. Yanzu tambaya guda. Shin Buhari ba musulmi bane? NSA din shi ba musulmi bane? Chief of Army Staff din shi ba musulmi bane? DSS wannan din shi ba musulmi bane? Police Inspector General ba musulmi bane? Accountant General da ya kawo muku da ya saci biliyan nawa ba musulmi bane?
Ask them.
Wannan wani irin jahilci kuke jahiltan kanku ne saboda wai addinin da wa'annan tsinannun wa'anga malaman da kuke gani duk tsinannu ne. Na gaya na ƙara gaya. Malaman da suke Najeriya yau duk ɗan iska ne. Duk tsinannu ne, kowa ɗan yunwa ne, kowa yana neman inda zai ci abinci ne. Haka kuka samu ire-iren su Fantami suka dinga kuka lokacin Jonathan ana kashe musulmai. Yau Fantamunku yana commissioner, yana minister. An daina sace ku? An daina kashe ku? Suwa aka fi kashewa a Najeriya? 'Yan Arewa. Suwa aka fi sacewa a Najeriya? 'Yan Arewa. Kuma in za a duba yawancin musulmai ne. Amma kullum an dinga zuwa muku da wani irin rudani, amma da yake akwai daƙiƙai marasa hankali cikin ku duba maganan da jakin ya gaya. Jakin wai ba a maganan wanda zai zo ya ba ku appointment ko kuma wanda zai gina muku makarantu ko wanda zai gina muku titina. A'a, wanda zai ɗaukakar da girman musulunci. Shin idan ba ka samu ilimi ba ka samu damar ka je ka nema ilimi ba, akwai yanda za ka yi ka ci gaba da da'awa? Wannan wani irin rashin hankali ne kuke bi kuna wa'anga mutanen wa'annan dabbobin. Wa'annan mutanen it's obvious dabbobi ne, ba su da hankali. Ba su da hankali. Ku tambayi kanku, Najeriya ƙasar musulmi ne kaɗai. Akwai fa Christians a eastern part of Nigeria. Idan kuna son Muslim, Ku sa hannu a raba Nigeria, let everybody go his own way. Ku je can kowa ita Muslim babu wanda zai rike ku. Amma maganan wani ɗan iska ya zo ƙasan da ana yin musulmi da Christian kusan 50-50 ne, amma wani shege wani dabba ya kawo muku yana cewa muku wai Muslim ticket. A ina ake haka musuluncin da take maganan adalci? A ina ake adalci? Wannan akwai adalci a cikinta? Babu adalci. Duk wanda zai bi gaskiya ka san babu adalci. Kasancewar mutanen nan ba ta ku suke ba. They don't care about you. Ba ta ku suke ba kwata-kwata. They are after their pocket. Domin aljihunsu suke. Malaman nan all of them ɗan yunwa ne. Dukansu suna da yunwa.
Amfani benefit is a Muslim that
malaman nan da kake gani.
As you have asked them, Baba.
Tsinannen gandujen nan da ya tara su. Ganduje da ya tara su. Malaman. Nan fa ganduje aka ringa ba shi dala yana sa a ƙarƙashin babbar rigan shi. Ganduje karɓan kuɗi yake akan ga video ya fito. Ganduje yana ansan dala. Amma wai ganduje ne yake so ya kawo muku magana Muslim ticket da yake akwai dabbobi a cikin ku, akwai dakikai jahilai marasa tunani, marasa hankali, marasa wayo, dabbobi, akuyoyi, jakai. Abadan Allah wannan ya ba hankali a cikin kwata-kwata ba hankali. Wallahi in ba ku gane ba waɗannan mutane suna playing ɗinku. Kuma wallahi 2023 ko? Tinubu ko Atiku ko Obi ko? Ku je ku yi zaɓe. Wallahi kaɗan kuka gani. Bura uban da Buhari ya muku kaɗan ne. Sai kun ga bura uba shegiya za ku gani. Asalin shegiya. Wannan kaɗan ne. Buhari ya muku wasa ne. Wasa ya Buhari yake. 2023 ko? Wallahi ba fata bane. Kawai abin da suka tsara muku ne. Za ku ji jiki. Najeriya za ku ji jiki. Wallahi mutanen nan ba wasa suke muku ba. Ba kuna wayyo Allah ka kawo Allah kawo mana dauki ba, wallahi sai kun ci kutumar ubanku. Allah wallahi sai kun gaba da.
Exactly.
Sai kun gaba da. No Allah my go make I interpret small.
A little bit, quickly.
Small.
Thank you.
Small, a little bit. You see, now no matter where you person guys they tell them, because most of them, I know there are a lot of them that come on this program. They watch this program. But some of them, they use their bigotry to watch the program and they will never understand. But I feel some of them, if they could hear a voice like this coming out, probably they could relax and listen. I pray they do. Because Michael, you wouldn't know. You are going fast. Probably you don't know. A lot of people watch you from where you don't even expect that they watch you. They see you, they watch you. What I'm trying to tell them here is, if they are talking about Muslim ticket, it shouldn't be someone like Ganduje. That it was obvious he was taking money. Does Islam tell us to do that? I am a Muslim.
It's haram.
Islam teaches you to be just and honest. All the things that Buhari has been doing, all the people that he asked as assistant, AGF, NSA, DSS director, police IG, are they not all Muslims? What have they done to protect your faith as a Muslim? That you think someone coming to tell you that you need Muslim ticket, you don't need a road, you don't need a school, or you don't need anything. All you need is a Muslim ticket. Have you asked him, if you don't have education, how can you understand how things are being run in your life? If you don't have education, if you don't have road, how can you transport your food, go and pick up your food, take it and go and make money, or transport your children, or go to where you